Hi there, welcome back to my channel, and today I thought I would go through how I fixed this album. I've shared with you before how on this card and envelope album it had the binding had torn through because the envelopes were so thin. So what I thought I would do is I was trying to figure out how I could fix this album without damaging all the work that I had done to the outside. So what I've done is I've cut off all the edges, all the binding holes that were on there. So each page has been cut off there. And what I thought I would do is I would take some pieces of cardstock, and this is like 4 inches across by the width of the envelope. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold these in half, and then they're going to go inside. So I've removed all the cards, and I've cut these just a teeny little bit too big. So you want it slightly larger or slightly smaller than your album. So I don't know if any of you have had this problem, but this is how I'm going to be fixing it. So I'm going to insert that in there. I'm going to punch the holes into this cardstock, glue this down, and then this album will be good as new, and we'll put it back on the binding. I don't think I'll be able to use this binding again, but I think I could probably take off the ribbon and put it on another one, because I don't even know if I have this ribbon anymore, so I kind of want to use that because it matches the paper so nice. So anyways, I'm going to get started with that. So yeah, I've made sure that I have at least 2 inches on each half, so that when you're folded it's 2 inches wide. And that is so that I can put it into the cinch. I think I'll keep this here so it stays in focus. Yeah, so I have my cinch here, and I have it set up to punch the holes. So I've pushed in all of the buttons for the size that this needs, and then I'm just gonna, I know you can't really see it, the brown on the black, but I'm gonna line this up with the edge, and I'm gonna push this in to the cinch, and we're gonna punch the holes, and there we have the new holes. So I'm gonna do 5 more of these, and yeah, we'll put the album back together. This album, now that we have all our pieces cut, and then we're just gonna, I'm gonna grab my glue, and that's gonna be the tricky part. Okay, so I'm probably gonna have to trim all of these because they're just slightly too big to get in there. There we go. And I think I want to have the holes like right about there. And that's the nice thing with making it 2 inches long. Like, I had the holes really close there, so it was probably more stress than it needed to be. So by making the thing longer, I can adjust and have it come out a little bit more, so that it's a little bit less stress on the hinges and stuff. So I'm going to grab my glue. And I'm going to use liquid glue just because I find I can work a little bit with this while it's still wet if I am placing it and stuff like that. So I'm going to right away do both sides, and hopefully this will go really good. Okay, so I'm just going to close this. I'm going to try and open this as much as I can. There we go. And I think right about there is where I want it. Make sure it's nice and straight. There we go. Oops. Probably didn't cut my things off straight, so hopefully that will be straight. And that's the nice thing about the glue. I can work with it a little bit so before it completely dries. So there is my first page. I feel like it's still not quite there. And I'm just going to go inside and just press down like so. So that's the first page. I'm not even sure what order this is in. I know there is one that is definitely the back. This one is the back. So this is the tricky part. I should have paid attention, but some of the pages had fallen out already, so they weren't exactly where they should have been to start with. I think it'll be this one. So we're just going to grab another of these, just test the size, and I'm going to have to trim it a bit. Yes, I gotta make sure the holes match up too. So it's a little bit trickier to do this. I mean, of course you would probably have your sides trimmed before you punched the holes, and then you could always punch the holes all at the same time. So okay, so I'm going to add my glue. And then I'm just going to slip that in there. Get in there before the glue dries. That's always the trick, is to get it in there before the glue dries. And then I'm just going to line this up with the first one just to make sure that they're lined up. It is a little bit of a complicated process, I guess, as opposed to doing something from scratch. But I mean, I wanted to save this album, so I think we're kind of a little bit crooked. Okay, and then I'm just going to go in. And I hope to do a tutorial on this particular album as well. Maybe not quite the same, but the style anyways. Okay, and so this was Lake Pictures. I think this was the next one. So we're going to go ahead and do this one. Thinking it was. Okay. And this one I trimmed maybe. Just check. There we go. So get our adhesive. And this will just all together make it nice and sturdy, having that extra amount of cardstock inside. Okay, and then let's match this up. The glue does dry fairly quickly, so you don't have a whole lot of time to work with it. But as long as it's relatively close, I think it'll be okay. Okay, so that's that one. Make sure they're all going the right direction, since I already have pictures in here and it's all decorated and everything. So then I think this one was next. What was it? No, it wouldn't have been that one. Somehow I'm thinking that we're getting these mixed up, but at this point I think it'll be okay. It's the pictures that are important. Let's see. Let's trim this a little bit off. And then we'll glue that in, just make sure it fits first. Okay. And we'll add our glue again. That's a good opportunity to also fix anything that's kind of pulling apart or letting go. Same thing, I guess. Okay, and then of course this one will be our last one. Make sure it's upright. Or not our last one, but our just gonna trim off a bit here. Go. There's some parts of the paper is kind of letting go, and I might go back and just, like, some of these are just, unfortunately, the tape I was using, and I'm guessing it was probably Tombow, the snail runner. They do not last very long. Like, they let go very easy. And especially for mini albums that you have sitting on a shelf. Maybe it wouldn't if they were in an airtight box somewhere, but who wants to keep your albums in an airtight box? Whatever. You wanna be able to display them and look through them and stuff like that. So I have switched to just using liquid adhesive for most of it. Score tape. I can't remember which ones I used the score tape on, or the Sukwang tape, whether they have fallen apart or not, but a lot of albums that I made, like for samples and store samples and stuff like that, I mean, they were sitting out all the time, and almost all of them have let go. And I know I was using either the Tombow snail runner tape, the Sukwang tape, or I think it's the I forget what it's called. It was a tape runner with a green handle, kind of like the oh, I don't even know what that's called. Sorry. Okay, so this is the last one. I've got that. So now I need to rebind this. So we've got all our pages. They're all got the holes punched, and so I think I'm gonna have to do a new one. So I'm just gonna take all these ribbons off of here. Oops, that one's snagged. Hopefully I don't do too much of that. Not sure why they're snagging. Isn't really anything for them to snag on. So yeah, I'm just gonna take those off and we're just going to do a new. I don't even know if I have any more gold, of this gold rings. I'll just check and see. Alright, I did have another gold one, so that's nice. So I will just figure out how many holes we need, or what the length is, and then I'll just flip the front page to the back and slip these through. Or is it the back page to the front? I think it's the back page to the front. That's how it works. And that's just so that this little thing kind of locks it in place. Let's make sure we've got this right. Don't want to put it together wrong. Okay, so okay, we've got them all on there. I'll bring back my cinch. And I'm going to use the other side this time. Oops. I'm just going to bring this out just a little bit close. There we go. So I'm basically having it kind of where the open side is like on the opposite side of the binding here. And we're going to butt that up against the thing. I'm going to look on the side here and see what I think I have. I think they're 1 inch coils. So I'm just going to press down like so, and that did not work, so we're going to go again. So obviously I'm going to try the 3/4 inch. There we go. So the 3/4 inch, I guess, worked. And then I'll just grab a pliers to turn those back so that we're not hooking onto them. Alright, so I don't need that anymore. So I'm just going to take a needle nose pliers and I'm just going to twist it so that it goes, I don't know if you can see it, but it goes in towards the center instead of, and I could probably even take it further so that you're not going to hurt yourself on that. And I'll do the other side here, just like so. And then we'll put the front page, we'll put this back, and there we have it. So the opening is actually on the inside here, and then you've got this nice round edge on the side. I did bend it a little bit, but that's okay. We're going to put the ribbon back on, and then put our tags back in, and then it should be finished, and I should have paid attention to how many of each I have. So I've got, okay, this one was our main one, I guess. Yeah, I don't have any more of this tulle. I might have more of this green ribbon. I'm just going to sort this by color. I don't think I have any more of this yellow ribbon. And yeah, so most of them, so we'll start with the orange. And I'll just, I know this is kind of a pain in the butt, but that's okay. Like I said, it's worth it to fix it, so you gotta do what you gotta do. And so I'm going to continue putting these back on, and then I'll come back, I'll put the tags in, and I'll come back and show you the finished product. Okay, that was a bit of an ordeal. But the album is fixed now, and we have all the tags and stuff, probably not in the right place, but I also realized I wasn't completely finished, so yeah, we've got lots of tags. Now, it wasn't ideal that my page is quite like that, because it does catch on that little piece that is inside there, but you know what, it's better than it not being able to have the album at all. So the the ties on here, the tool was almost impossible to retie, but I did manage to do it. But yeah, so yeah, this album is now fixed. I can finish it up, and everything is good. It's got the nice sturdy cardstock on there, so it shouldn't break again. And yeah, it is a chunky album. It does stand out, but that's kind of what I wanted it to do. So, but anyways, that is how I fixed this. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and we will see you again next time. Thank you. Bye.